this day because everyone was waiting for hook-based React. So today we are going to start with hook-based React, and as I told, hook-based React is more smaller than class-based React, and we will complete it in 2 days. And then I will give the link to the projects which you should do. A good evening, and let me say good evening, everyone. Hope it's going, and as always, attendance will be given at the end for the 4. Good evening, everyone, and attendance as always will be given at the end for everyone. Okay, so that is there, and so let's get started with our favorite React hooks. Okay, so this is there. I have already created a project because all of you, as all of you know, it takes a lot of time to create a React project. So I just ran this command. It took me 5-10 minutes, and it is done. And I finally got that happy hacking message, and it is working fine. Okay, so let's get started. CD hooks and start it with VS Code. Why it is going here? Okay, so it is done, and let me do npm start. Okay, npm start have done, and so let it done. So what I'm going to do here, src and everything is there. Okay, so we'll start with the use state hook, the popular use state hook. See, two hooks are only the most popular hooks. One is the use assist, another is the use effect. Only these hooks, two hooks have means it has replaced everything. See, there were only two things in class-based component which were issues in a functional component. One is a state, and another is a lifecycle hooks. So both of these things are resolved by these two hooks, and all the lifecycle method, literally all the lifecycle methods are done by use effect hook. Okay, so what I'm going to do, components, create a components folder, and yes, as I've told earlier, we are going to learn the hook base through a class base. So what I'm going to do again what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a class counter and going to change it to hook base. Okay, so the class counter.js I'll do, and rcc, and let me increase the font size. Oh, now it is visible, and export default class counter. Okay, export default class counter, and we are going to change this into a hook based thing. Okay, so that is the idea. So here we will have a simple class based thing, means uh, uh, so what I'm doing, I'm just creating a thing, means class counter. It will increase the counter, so count is there. Okay, so after this I'll have a button. So I have a button, and what it is doing, it is doing this increasing the state, and I'm also showing the state here only. So count value, I'm showing it here only, and this is a complete thing. I'm the set state, I'm setting it here only. Whenever I click this button, it will increase. Okay, that is done. And class counter, I'll come back to the app.js. App.js, I will remove everything. Class counter, save it. So the npm start is done, and see the count has been shown. Okay, and I will click, it will increase here only, it will increase. So it is a class based counter and it is working fine. Now we need to change it to a hook based counter. So how to do that? So I'll create another file, hook counter dot js I'll do, and here rafce shortcut rfce. Now let me do one thing. Let me open it here and open this here, and we'll see how I will convert this thing into a hook based thing. Okay, so that is done. So first thing is that the state variable means it will not be something is called like a state keyword itself is not there, and of course this is not there. Okay, so the first thing is that we have a something known as a use state hook. Okay, so we have to import it. Okay, use state, we have to import. Okay, so how to use it? Okay, how to use it? Okay, so to use it, we'll have const count comma set count equal to use state 0. So what is this? What is this which I have just done? So this is a use state hook. Okay, this is a use state hook. So what does this statement mean? And we are using array destructuring here. Okay, array destructuring in current format is there because this is like that. Okay, so this count is there. Okay, this count is there. This count will take a initial value of 0, just like here. This is the state I am doing the count, and the initial value of 0 is there. So whatever I pass it here, it is the initial value. So initial value is 0. Okay, count is the initial value of 0. And what is the set count? So the thing which differentiate a hook from a class based is that here what was happening, we have a common thing known as a set state. We have a common thing known as a set state which used to change the state. So that kind of thing is in a hook based system. We don't have a common thing. So if I create 10 15 also use state, this thing will differ, and this thing name you can take anything, but the industry standard is that this you will take it as a small case count, and this I am taking as set. I will add the set count because set state is also like that, and the count C will capital camel case, and I will do that. Okay, so this is something similar to set state. Okay, but here one thing beneficial which I see in a class base is that in the this dot state only I can create a multiple state variables, but here for creating multiple variables we have to have more like this const like statements, and everything will have its own set something is there. Okay, so that is there. And now how to change this? So let me do it button, and here let me do a hook count, and we don't have anything like a state or something like that. So but the state variable, it is a state variable, we will do it like count. So here we were doing it as this dot state dot count. Here we will directly referring it as count. Okay, that is there. And good evening everyone. uh, good evening. So hope you are liking it. Okay, so please do hit the like button so that it can reach to more people. Okay, on click. So on click again, I'm doing a on click handler. Okay, and here what I'm doing again, I have to do like this, and set count I have to do, and set count is count plus 1. We don't have anything like this set state. We have to pass a object here. So and then we have to increase this it, but we don't have to do anything. We just have to mention what is there. So count plus 1 I'm doing. Save it. Let me take it back here so that you can see it much better way. So this is a, and this is much more simpler than that. See, this is what it is there, and this is all those things, the constructor and all those things we have to do. So that's the reason people like hooks, all the constructors and all this set state and all these things we have to do. But here everything is so much simpler, so much simpler. That's why sometimes people also start learning hooks before even going to class based. Okay, so that is there. And hook counter I'm doing, and save it, go back, hook counter, increasing correctly, increasing correctly, increasing correctly. So this is the basic of use state. But use state doesn't and say we have a lot of things to learn in use state also. There are a lot of edge cases and a lot of difference from your class based thing. Okay, so now the thing which we are going to learn is the use state with previous state. Okay, so this previous state thing we have learned in the class based also. So this previous state thing, how we are going to do it here, we are going to learn that. And for that we won't make any class based things. We are just going to come here and hook counter 2 dot js I'll do, and then I will do, and then Okay, so again I will have to have the use state first. So I will use it in a different way. Initial count equal to 0 and const count comma set count equal to use state of initial count, and use state we don't have to forget to import. Okay, I don't know what is it is coming. This one. So use state we have to import it. Okay, that is done. Now let us have some more statements, and for having more statement we have to have it like this and then wrap it with a fragment. And let me have a h2 count is count. As you know, it comes like this, count is count, it will come like this. Then we'll have a button of reset, and on click equal to set count initial count. I missed something here. I think I have one more. So yeah, so this there. So set count is initial count. This is count plus 1, and this will be increment, this will be decrement, and this is count minus 1. Save it, and this is there. And let us have this only counter. So we have this thing, count has been shown, increment is working fine, decrement is working fine, and reset is working fine. So this is done. So now again what we are going to have, we are going to have that increment 5 again, and we know that it will cause an issue. So let us have a button increment 5 on click equal to increment 5. I'm having this, then I will go up and create this function. So const increment 5 equal to like this, and just have a for loop. Okay, for let I equal to 0, I is less than 5, I plus plus, and here I'll do the set count is count plus 1. So I want it to be increment 5 times, but as we know it will not work because the same issue will come. Okay, so this all are working, this all are working, but it will only do it one because of the performance optimization which React does. So performance optimization, it is seeing that at once a lot of set count is going on, so it will do the performance optimization and bunch them all together and only one will go. So that you find it out how to restrict it doesn't show negative, that you can check it how it doesn't, that some logic is there. Increment, what logic? Yeah, so this on click, you create a different function for it, call a function, not set the set count here, and then from a if loop, if statement, check what the count value is, and if the count value is less than -1, then call the set count with the initial count, just like that you can do. So I have told you the theory, it is very easy. So those thinking you need to develop it yourself. So this is known as analytical thinking, those things you have to develop it yourself. It was a good question. Okay, so increment 5 is there. So now what I have to do, we have to use the previous count. Okay, so prev count we have to do, and for that we have to do priv count, and here the priv count is much more easier. It is priv count plus 1. So priv count, again we are taking the previous state or previous count, whatever you can say, it doesn't matter. So previous count we are doing it and it will solve the issue. And if we're doing it here, we should actually do it here also, means to have to be consistent. And as I told, this is a special case. Okay, you don't have to do it every time. Okay, this is a special case. Okay, so increment also I'll do, and decrement also I will do. And this is the same thing which we have seen earlier in the class based also. Save it, and now if I go here, 5 it is working fine, and these all are also working fine. So that is done. So now, okay, so class based thing, I think we have already seen this thing, the previous state I was increasing. Okay, so that is there. So now use state have some issues also, because it is not like that it is without any issue, because we are using a different kind of thing here. What different kind of thing? See, if you can see here, use state I am doing, and we can give anything here. Actually, the initial value I can give 0 or some string or anything I can give, even array or an object I can give. But here the state was actually an object. The state was actually an object. This state is actually an object, and inside it again I can do anything. But it was an object, and there are some positive things because of that. And because of that, there will be some issues, but it is not an issue. But we should know about it. It is not an issue because hook is totally bug free and all. It is the awesome things. Because of that, React is made so much easier. Okay, so now we will look into another thing, means we'll see that what happens if in use state the initial value is an object, not an like a string or something. Okay, not like this. We'll see that thing. Okay, so now next thing which I'm going to do is a hook counter 3.js and RFCE and const name comma set name equal to use state of. So right now I will have a object here. Okay, first name and a last name object I will have. Okay, so that will be having. Then here we will be having a form from here. Okay, and here input type text and value equal to name dot first name. So value is name dot first name, because I want to have two input type text, and in one user will enter the first name, and the another user will enter the second name. So name dot first name, and then on change equal to e set name is first name is e.target.value. So this is like we do generally. So e.target.value have done, and set name I have done like this. Okay, so whatever the user type, it will be done there on change. And we know these things from a class based thing, that in React we have to have on change handler. The moment I type something, the on change handler should fire. This we have seen, I think, yesterday only in the class based component. So that is there. And then this one will be last name. Okay, then let me have h2 first name is name dot first name, last name is name dot last name. Okay, this I've done. Then hook counter 3, save it. Now use state is not defined, so I forgot to do that. Use state done, save it. So see, first name and last name are coming like this. Okay, so I will write the first name Bindu, and I'll come here at this was. First name is gone, and the last name is coming. Only last name is coming. The moment I type something here, last name is gone. So what's the issue? So let us see it in a better way. What's the issue is there? So for that, I'll do h2 and JSON dot stringify, and I'll do the name. So JSON.stringify is a function to which it will show it in a string format. So this is also type of, you can do a, if you want to do something like console.log or something, you can do it like this, because you cannot do a console.log inside a return. It's better to do it like this so that we can see what is there inside. Okay, so that is there. So it is anyways, it is showing me that first name and last name is like this. The object is there, and then window. See, the moment I type anything in the other thing, the earlier object is gone, earlier state is gone, earlier key value pair is gone. So when I type in first name, last name is gone. When I type in last name, first name is gone. So this is happening because in use state, what happens? It doesn't automatically update and merge the object, because it is actually not an object, but in class base it is an object only. So what it does, it automatically, if you have done the same thing in a class based scenario, it would have automatically done that thing. But here we can have anything, it is not always an object, so it doesn't automatically update and merge the object. So here we have to take the help of the spread operator. Okay, so small change we have to do. We have to do a dot 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 name. So as I've told, all ES6 concept comes into play a lot. So dot 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 name I'll do, and dot dot name is done. Save it. Okay, so refresh it. Again, you see now the last name is still there. This was, it's coming. So whenever I type in the first name, this will be fired, and it will take the dot 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 name. It means whatever the value is there in the last name. Whenever I type in the last name, whatever the value is there in the first name, dot 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 is a spread operator which spreads the earlier thing. And at the end of the name, what is name? Name is an object, so it will spread it, spread the object. So this is something which is very much required when we are going to use this hook based use state in an object. And this you are going to use this kind of things a lot. Means sometime you are going to have a use state as an array, which is much more common, array of object or something like that. So array also have the same kind of thing. Okay, so now what we are going to do, use state with array we are going to do, and array also have the same thing. The thing is that you have to do the dot 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 thing. Okay, so we are going to do the array. So hook counter 4.js I'll do, and AFCE I'll do, and here I'll do const items comma set items equal to use state of empty array I am doing. Let me import it. What is done. So now what we know that dot 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 is required here. What we are going to do, we are going to come here and button and add a number. We're going to add a number we are going to have. Okay, so and when the on click will be done, we are going to call a add item function we are going to call. And this add item function const add item equal to like this, and set items is like dot 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 items. So dot 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 items, again we have to do this dot 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 thing. So whatever was earlier there, so what I'm doing here, I'm just creating something like whenever you're going to add that thing, it will add a new item. So dot 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 item I'm doing, and I will create an array of object, and that object id will be equal to items dot length. So as you know, the id should be unique. So items dot length I am doing because it will be always be unique, because I'm going to add every time one to it. So initially the length is 0, then it will be 1, then it will be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like that. Okay, and value, I'm just giving a random value is like math dot random and into 10 and do anything it can be done. Okay, so this I've done. So I'm adding a okay. So what I'm doing, I'm just adding a did I miss something? Okay, I missed the ending. Okay, so I'm adding something new, and the item is increasing, ID is increasing, and value is math.random. Okay, that is there. So add item is this. Now I have to show it. Just have to show it. Then I'll do a UL and items dot map item. So we're just using the map again. Maps and all these things are very much useful. I'll do align and item dot value and key equal to item dot id. So key, as we know, key should always be unique. So key is unique. So item dot id is there, and item dot value I'm showing. I'll save it, and then I will do the hook counter 4. Save it, and this will show it like this, and I will always add a new number. So this is like this, it is working. The main thing is that to show that the in arrays also you have to do this dot 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 thing. Okay, so the earlier thing has been taken. So this is done. We are done with use state actually. Now we will go to the use effect hook. So as I've told that see, this is how the state is been managed. See, the state this dot state, instead of that we have a use state hook. So similar to that, our lifecycle methods, there were a lot of lifecycle methods which we have seen, and I have told that the important lifecycle methods were only component did mount, component did update, and component will unmount. Render, by default, render is done in return only. Whenever we do a return, whenever the state is getting changed, the return will be called. So the concept is almost similar, because when they introduced state in a functional component, they did the same thing. This return is like a render only, so it will run every time when the state is changed. So that concept is like same. But the thing is that lifecycle matters, as I've told, I've taken a lot of lifecycle matter, like that some props lifecycle method and all this are taken, but React team realized that those are not used by in the production a lot. So component did mount was very important, as I've told. Component did update was very important, as I've told, and component will unmount is also very important, which we have not seen much, but we'll see now. So component did mount is what was running with the constructor during the initial render, and component did update, we have seen that it runs whenever the state is changed during the subsequent renders. So those things we are going to, those things you should know. That's the reason I've always told that you should know class based component, or else how you will learn that what is the use effect. What is the use effect? Okay, so that is there. So again, we are going to see it, use effect. And use effect we are going to see again first through we create a class based component, and we'll have the lifecycle methods there, and we are going to change that into a hook based with hook based component with use effect. Okay, so I will have a class counter 1 dot js and not rcc because it's a class based. Export default class counter 1, and here I will have a constructor will be there, and state will be count of 0, count of 0. Now here we are going to have a button, and button will have click this dot state dot count. This dot state dot count is there, and in here I'll have again that on click thing, on click, I will have that set state here only. In fact, it is mostly like that only, but we are going to see another thing here, how we are going to use that component did mount here. Okay, so this dot state dot count is this dot state dot count plus one. So it is like this same thing, and class counter one, and class counter one. Save it. So nothing difference is there. It is like this. But the thing is that what I want to do. So I want to change this. See, this React app is coming here. See, this React app is coming here in the title. I want to change the title. Okay, so how to change the title? So for changing the title, what I'm going to do, initially I will have a component did mount, which runs during the initial render. Okay, so that I'll do, and I'll do a component did mount document dot title is, I'll do click this dot state dot count times, and this will be like this. So document title will change the document title. Okay, so document title is there. Save it, and click 0 times. Okay, click 0 times is there, and because right now the state is 0 only. Initially the state is 0. Now I will click it. See, I'm clicking it. It is not increasing. It is not increasing because, as we know, component did mount only runs the first time. Whenever second time the state is getting changed, component did update runs. So this is a real use case scenario. See, the component did update, it is not even updating it, only the initial update was done. Now the subsequent updates are not done. So we are going to do component did update, component did update, and div props comma div state, and again the same thing will be there. So let me refresh it. See, first time it came from component did mount. Next time it is updating, it is also updating. It is updating, it is also updating. So next time it is coming from your component did update. So this is a normal class based thing which is done. So now we are going to change this whole thing with a use effect hook. So React didn't create a different hooks for everything, like component did update and did mount, component did update, all those things they didn't create it. And this is a bit not confusing, but they created one thing to do everything, but it we have to use it in a different type. We have to use it, then only we'll get that effect. So what we are doing right now, I am going to show the use effect in 4 5 ways, 4 5 ways to 4 5 different configurations. They are known as 4 5 different configurations. So the first configuration is that I want to run it in a way in which that component did mount also run and component did update also run, both of them runs. Okay, so we are going to do that, and for that let us have a hook. What is the number? Hook counter 5 actually. Hook counter 5.js ce. So here I'll have a const count and set count. And here also we were having the state, so that will I will have use state. I will have use state. I'll have, and I will have a button. Don't have anything, so click count times is there, and button on click equal to, like this is there, and set count is count plus 1. So this is the normal thing which you have. This is the normal thing which you have. Hook counter 5, hook counter 5, counter 5, counter. Save it, go back, and it will be did it done. Okay, so React app is coming. So this is not done. So now we want to have the same thing, this component did mount and component did update. How to do that? And for that we have a special type of hook known as a use effect hook, which is a replaces the lifecycle method. It replaces all the lifecycle method. Use effect we are going to have, and it is generally a function call like this, in which we have to give a function call and we have to use like this. So it does a function call. Okay, then what we are going to do, document.title, click this many times. Okay, click this many times and it's done. It's not coming. Let me do it like this. A user effect came actually. Okay, so this is done, and we are going to soon learn that if I give a comma and if I give something here, it will take that something. Okay, so let me, and it will work in a different way. Okay, so let me go back. This is click 0 times. So yeah, it is working fine. It is working fine. So this single line of code actually it replaces both of these things, both of this lifecycle method. So initially when the component is loaded, it will run at that time also, and when the state is updated, then also it will run. So this line, this hook, it replaces both of this lifecycle method, component did mod and component did update. Okay, this is how it replaces. Okay, and we don't have to now we are going to see the other things. Okay, but this is how simple it is. So it replaces all those things. Okay, and this is the most basic configuration. We are not passing any argument here. Soon we will see if we pass something here, it will change the way it will work. Use effect, because we are not yet done. So component did mount and component did update we have done, but there are other things also which we need to do with the lifecycle methods only. So this is how the basic way it will run. Okay, and now we are going to see the conditional use effect. Okay? Conditional use effect we are going to see, and for that, okay, for that what we are going to do, okay, let me do one thing. Let me give the attendance sheet also. Therefore, hope you're all liking it, so please like this video and hit the subscribe button. You have not subscribed yet, please do that. Okay, mark your attendance here. So that is done. Okay, now we'll look into conditional use effect. So conditional use effect also will be like the conditional use effect. Uh, we are going to use same kind of thing, same kind of logic on. Okay, so let me do, but then also let me create something. Let's Control C, class counter 2 dot js. Let me make it 2 and let me make it 2. What we are going to do now, so now we are going to look into the another way of use effect, which is a conditional use effect. But again, for that, first we are going to see it through a class based component. Okay, so count is 0, then we have another thing, another variable, name of like this. So this is something which I like in a class based thing, so you can do it here only, you don't have to create something else. So name, I'm doing that, and this is okay. And I will have a console log here because I want to show something. Console log updating document title, updating document title I'll do. Then here I will have input field also, because we have a name, so we'll have an input field for that. And come back here. Okay, so we will have a input field here, input type equal to text and value equal to this dot state dot name, and on change will be e this dot set state this dot set state, and it will be name is 𝑒.target.value. So like this it will be having. Okay, so this will be having like this. Okay, save it, and here, here, come here, save it. Okay, class counter is done like this, and if I go here, see it will be like this. And let me open the inspect, and if I click here, the updating document title is getting updated, which is okay because I am updating the document title, so this state is getting updated. Count state I want to show. Okay, so but I will write something here also. So then also see, this is getting updated, which is not a good behavior at all. But it's not a good behavior because see, in a small application nothing happens, but in bigger application what happens if we are going to re-render it again, run the re-render component again and again, it slows down our application. In bigger application this is known as performance optimization. So I don't want means I was when I was writing here, actually I'm not update I am not updating the this title, so it should not run. This component did update should not run. Okay, component did update should not run. Okay, so how to stop it, how to stop this from doing? So we can stop this by using this previous state. So using this previous state we are going to stop it, and we are going to do if state dot count not equal to this dot state dot count. Now what does I mean with that? What does I mean with that? State dot count. So previous state keeps in count of the previous state. Okay, so the previous state, maybe previous state count is 2, and it is not equal to the new state. So new state is 3. See, if I click on this button, the state will change. State will change to 3. So they are not equal, but and they will, this will not run. But what will happen if I change the text box? The text box I will change the previous state, and the current state will be same only. So that's why it will not run. Okay, so that is there. I'll go here and go back, delete it, click it. It is running. Now I come here. I'm doing it here, and it is still 11, so it is not updating. So this is how we do it in a class-based scenario. So now we are going to do the same thing in a hook-based scenario. So again, let me copy this thing and name it hook counter 6.js and paste it. It is 6. It's 6. Now I will again have like I have 2 states here, so I'll have a new state here. Const name comma set name to use state empty like this, and use effect also I will have a console log here, clg use effect updating document title. Updating document title is there. I've done this, and again we are going to have multiple statements. So multiple statements, you have to move it inside a fragment, and input type equal to text, value equal to name, and on change equal to e set name 𝑒.target.value. Okay, like this 𝑒.target.value is there. Save it. hook counter 6, hook counter 6, hook counter 6, counter 6, save it. Now, so let me refresh it. Yeah, so counter 6 is there, and see here what is happening. Use effect is kicking in first time only because we don't have like a difference here, like a component did mount, and both of them are same. So that's why even before typing something means it is doing. And then I will click here, definitely it will increase, and even if I write it here, it will increase. So that is the problem again here, and how we are going to solve it. So how to do the conditional use effect. So here, to do the conditional use effect, what I have to do here, I have to come here, comma, and then array, I have to array type of thing I have to give, and I have to give this count. So what does this mean? So this means that run the use effect only. It will, by default it will run like a component did mount. We cannot stop it, so it will run during the initial phase. Okay, it will run initial when it will update, but then subsequent thing it will only run if the count state is changed, nothing else, only the means and this is a very important thing because it is used in a lot of production applications. So and if you have more states, then you can give a comma also, but see we have two states here, count and name. So it will only change if the count state is changed, not the name state is changed. So this is how we are achieving this thing. Okay, save it. Now if I go here, let me refresh it once again. This will call, this will be, I'll do it, this will be there, and so it is still 10, it is not increasing, it is not increasing. So this is how it is done. Okay, so this is how this is done. Use effect, and use effect is not yet over. Use effect has got some other things also. Okay, so okay, so let us do the other thing. Okay, so these are two things in the use effect we have seen, but use effect doesn't, and say use effect has a lot of other things also because it is replacing the whole of the lifecycle method. So we can run use effect in the component did way also. Only the component did mount only will run in that way, means it will not run the component did update function. It will only run the component did mount, means it will only run once only, not more than that. Okay, so we are going to do that, and for that again we are going to see a class based example first. But we have done enough of counter for the day. I could have done it with counter, but we are going to look into something else, and we are going to create class mouse.js, and here rcc do export default class mouse, and here I'll have a r const, and here I will have a x is 0 and y is 0. So two coordinates I'll have, x and y and 0. Okay. Then why it is giving like this? And then I will have a x is this dot state dot x, comma y is state or wrong. Let me do one more thing. Let me wrap it with the h1. It will look much better. It is done. Now what we are going to do here, we are going to show the mouse position actually. Okay, so I'll come here and component did mount. So component did mount, I will have that window dot add event listener. So this is how we add event listener in a class based thing. Component did mount I will add. Okay, component did mount because it runs only once, and we want to add the event listener only once, not twice. Okay, add listener mouse hand mouse move, and I'm calling a function handle mouse move. Okay, so now I will create this handle mouse move, and it will take an, I don't like the complete name, I will take it event it will take, and it will be this dot set state. So there is something known as client x. So client x, we are going to do x is equal to e dot client text. So this is something which is JavaScript have. So with this e dot, like the e dot target dot value, we can get anything of whatever is there in an input box. E dot client text will give us the position of x and y. This I will do, and then it is done like this. Okay, and then save it. Now we are going to have this class mouse here, mouse here, mouse here. Save it. Now go here. So this has been done. This has been done, and see the mouse position has been updating properly. Okay, so all the time means it is quite simple, means every event listener is there, and whenever I change the mouse position, e dot set client will give that position here whenever set state is run. So this will re-render again and it will be shown. So this is how I did the component did mount thing. Okay, so now the same thing I have to change to a hook. Okay, I only want the component did mount, nothing else. So I will come here and hook mouse dot js RAFCE. Hook mouse is like this. Then is okay. Here we have to use const x comma set x, because we are going to have two things, and use state of 0, and const y is like this, and now we'll have this use state called here, and now here maybe I will call it here directly h1, and hooks x, it's like x, and comma y is like y. So I'm showing both of them. Okay, so after this I will have this use effect, definitely use effect to have this add event list. Okay, use effect I'm going to call so this is done, and then I'll do clg. Let me do this also, hook use effect called, then window dot add event listener, and mouse move is handle mouse move I will have, and handle mouse move, this I have to create here. So I'll go here, const handle mouse move equal to e arrow function, and we have to do this, both of them are will be different variables. Here we have the same thing like a state, and here we have different. So e dot it will be done like that, but how to run it only once. So I don't want it to be run I don't want it to be have the component will update and all those things. If I leave it like this, it will have that thing, but because I don't want this even listeners to fire again and again and again. So the thing is that what we do it like this, I have to pass an empty array. If I pass an empty array, it will only run once, not more than one, only run once, and after that it will not run. So that's the reason I have added the hook use effect also. So maybe I have not included it. Hook use effect, I'll go hook use effect, hook use effect, save it, go back, and hooks has been called here. See, hook use effect is called. I got the console log here. Okay, so then I'll go and do it. Okay, and it has been done. I got a warning that is something which we need to fix. Also, we are going to fix next, because we are mounting it. See, always when we had an event listener, we should always remove that event listener in React or even in JavaScript, although not more people do. So that's what it is telling that it's a memory leak. Okay, so that is there, but it is working fine. Okay, and hook effect is only called once. So this is how we do the component did mount. Empty array component did mount, and conditional we have to pass that thing, and normal if you don't pass anything, it is component did mount and component did update. So that's why I was telling that lifestyle method, learning lifestyle method is so much important. At least you should know what is a component did mount, what is a component did update. Now we are going to learn about another thing, what is the use effect with cleanup. So use effect with cleanup means we are going to learn the component will unmount now, and component will unmount in the class base also we have not learned much, but it's okay. So that is there. Then We are going to learn it directly from here, but I'm going to tell how it will be looking in a class based scenario. Okay, so I'm going to have a mouse container .js and RAFCE mouse container like this. And then const display comma set display equal to use state of true is there. Then what I'm going to have here, so div is okay. Don't I require something like this? Okay, so button on click is I am going to have something, this set display, whatever it is there, it will do it not of that, and I'll have a toggle display. Okay, toggle display here, and then after that I will have, if it is display, then I will show this mouse hook mouse, import it also. So what I'm having here? Okay, so I'm having here, see, if I'm not liking it like this, so okay, so I like those brackets. If you don't give those brackets, that div have to be in the same line, so that is there. And it is initially the button is the display is true, so our hook mouse component will be shown, okay. And one more thing, I am going to have this mouse container in the app.js save it. Mouse container is there, so mouse container will be showing the hook mouse by default. It will be use state is not defined. I always forget to do this, and save it. So see, it is done, like it is done, and by default hook has been called and all these things has been called, means it is called. But when I will click this button, what will happen? The display will be false. By default is true, so display is false, so I'm using the and operator, and hook mouse will be unmounted, means it will not be shown, unmounted. Okay, so that is done. And before seeing everything, we what I'm going to do, handle mouse, I have to have a console.log here, clg, and it is mouse event is there, save it. And now this is done. Now okay, so again we'll come here, and I have to open this. So see what is called right now, so I will come back here, hook use effect called, and the mouse event is also been called, because okay, let me do one thing, let me refresh it once. So hook use effect has been called. Okay, hook use effect has been called. Then I will do here, and the mouse event has been called, because this mouse event has been called. Okay, now I will toggle the display, that hook mouse is unmounted. Okay, hook mouse is unmounted, but then also see, hook mouse is unmounted and I'm not seeing that component at all. But then also this mouse event is going on. See, this counter is going on, mouse event is going on, and it is also giving me an error. It is giving me an error that the uh, you have a memory leak, and I really have a memory leak. See, this is still going on. So add event listener is still firing, and this is not a good thing for any application. Memory leak is there, and it is not a good thing, because it will hamper the performance in the longer run. So for this kind of thing, we have to do something known as remove event listener. So we have to do a remove event listener. Okay, and remove event listener we should do. And in a class based thing, I will tell one thing. Okay, so where is my class mouse is here. So although I don't have a mouse container or something, in class mount what happens, this class based thing, what happens, we have another lifecycle method known as component will unmount. Component will unmount is there. Okay, in a class based. Okay, and windows dot remove event listener we have to do like this. So windows dot remove event listener. Like this we have to do in a class based thing, but here we don't have something like this. Okay, so how to do that? How is this component will unmount is there? So actually it's not like we don't have it, but we implement it in a different way. So how do we implement that thing? Okay, so we implement that thing in a way. We have a different kind of code here. Okay, so that code is like, I have to do return here, return, and it will be like this. It will be doing a function call, and it will be like a console.log and component unmounting code, component unmounting code I will have, and then I will have windows.remove event listener and handle mouse. Just the remove event listener will be like this. Okay, here anyways we don't have this keyword, so this is done, and component unmounting code is there. So let us look quickly, remove this thing, and I will come back again and refresh it. Okay, so toggle display and hook has been called, mouse event has been called, call, toggle display, component unmounting code ran, component unmounting code ran, and see, now even if I move the mouse, it is not running, and no memory leak error is also coming. So this is done. So this is all done, and actually we are done for today. We have done a lot, means use effect, but only a small use effect is remaining, which is the fetching data with use effect, and which is single handedly, which is one of the most important thing of use effect, which is to fetch data from the API endpoint. And this is the most important thing in anything in React front end framework. Most of the time you're going to fetch something from the API endpoint, so that is the most important thing to be done, and that we are going to do it tomorrow. Okay, so that is the thing which we are going to do tomorrow, and hope you have liked it, and I hope you are learning something from React. As I've told this, see, React developers are paid in gold, real gold. They are paid. All of us know how much React developers get paid, so you just check it out. If I'm if just a fresher, means just a fresher only get 10,000 rupees, means he knows nothing, just he knows React, you get 10,000 rupees minimum, and maximum, if he's an intern, maximum he will get 25,000 easily. Intern, I'm telling, that much people pay interns that much. And once you know React, even with 1 year experience, you can take a 10 lakh package easily. 10 lakh package, you don't need to take help from anyone. Okay, so just 1 year of industry experience, you can get that much package in the industry. So that is what React is. Everything is React. That's why you learn React in a good way, and you can get any job. You can even contact me. I always need React.js developer, because I have a service company also, which we build apps for the client. Okay, so that is there, and I already have hired people, and people means it's okay. I still need a lot of other React developers also in my company, and in every company React.js developers are needed. That's why learn it in a good way. And with this, I will end today's stream because I have class to take at 10. Okay, thank you, and see you all tomorrow on the last day of React.js. Okay, thank you.